Hey everyone, so you know how sometimes you pick up a book and it just hits different? Well, I recently devoured Oliver Burkeman's 4,000 Weeks Time Management for Mortals, and wow, it completely shifted my perspective. The title itself is a gut punch. Right? 4,000 weeks. That's roughly how long the average human life lasts if you make it to 80 years old. When I first heard that, I felt a little queasy. Like, is that all I get? Berkman opens the book with this terrifying, almost insulting brevity of life, reminding us that civilizations span hundreds of thousands of weeks, but we individually get a mere 4,000, and he argues that because we're faced with this absurdly short amount of time, time management, broadly defined, should be everyone's chief concern. But here's the kicker: the way we generally approach time management and productivity, it's all wrong. Think about it: most productivity gurus tell us to crank through tasks, optimize our mornings, get more done. But have you ever noticed that the more efficient you become, the busier, more anxious, and frankly, emptier you feel? It's like Edward T. Hall's idea of time as an unstoppable conveyor belt. You clear tasks, and new ones just appear faster. Berkman calls this the efficiency trap. I mean, I tried Inbox Zero once, and all that happened was I got more email. Because I became known as someone who replied quickly. It's this endless game of Sisyphus pushing a boulder up a hill, only to have it roll back down. So what's the real problem then? It's not that we have too little time, it's that we've unwittingly inherited and feel pressure to live by a troublesome set of ideas about how to use our limited time, all of which are pretty much guaranteed to make things worse. We act as if time is something we can completely control and master. Berkman takes us back to medieval peasants who, despite their incredibly tough lives, would never have felt bored and would never have felt guilty for wasting time. Why? Because they didn't experience time as an abstract, measurable thing, like a container to be filled. Their lives were task-oriented. You milked cows when they needed milking, harvested when it was harvest time, and there was no anxious pressure to get everything done because a farmer's work is infinite. This sounds almost magical, right? This concept of deep time where the clock isn't ticking so loudly. But then came the clocks and the Industrial Revolution, and suddenly time became a resource, a commodity to be bought and sold. We began to feel this immense pressure to use it well, and to berate yourself when you feel you've wasted it. This, he argues, is the root of our modern time troubles. We live in this future-focused, instrumental way, always striving for some future oasis of relaxation or a golden era of happiness that never quite arrives. It's why he calls the "when I finally mine." We're like donkeys chasing a carrot dangling from our own collars. So, if trying to control time and get everything done is a losing game, what's the alternative? Berkman says the core challenge isn't how to get everything done, but how to decide most wisely what not to do, and how to feel at peace about not doing it. He says we need to learn to be better procrastinators, not the bad kind that avoids things, but the good kind that strategically neglects what truly doesn't matter to focus on what does. He offers some really powerful principles here. One is to pay yourself first with time. If you have a creative project or relationship you want to nurture, put time into it today first, no matter how little, before the endless stream of other demands eats up your day. Another is to limit your work in progress. He suggests no more than 3 tasks at a time. It forces you to confront your finitude and realize you can't do everything, leading to a surprising sense of calm and productivity. And then there's the famous Warren Buffett advice on priorities: make a list of 25 things. Pick the top 5 and then actively avoid the other 20 because they're seductive enough to distract him from the ones that matter most. This means learning to say no to things you do want to do, not just the ones you don't. Now, you might be thinking, but what about distraction? How do I stop getting sucked into my phone? And that's a great question, because distraction isn't just about external interruptions. It's often an inner failure to use what's time on what one claimed to value the most. It's an intimate interrupter, a self within a self that wants to flee from something painful or uncomfortable about the present moment. We reach for our phones not because we're happily working and get pulled away, but because we're looking for an excuse to escape the discomfort of focusing on something challenging. Boredom, he points out, is often an intense reaction to the deeply uncomfortable experience of confronting your limited control. The solution isn't to fight distraction with sheer willpower, but to stop expecting things to be otherwise and accept the inevitability of discomfort when engaging with valuable tasks, just like the meditation teacher Shinzen Yong found. Focusing on the pain of ice-cold water paradoxically reduced his suffering. Brickman also delves into why we never truly have time. We expect it, we plan for it, but the future is inherently uncertain. A plan, he says, is just a present moment statement of intent. We can't guarantee it will unfold as we wish. This yearning for certainty is a constant source of anxiety. And releasing and not minding what happens, as Jida Krishnamtru put it, can be deeply liberating. And this isn't just about work, it's about how we value leisure too. We're often pressured to make our leisure time productive, training for tanks or meditating for spiritual enlightenment. But true leisure, Berkman argues, is wasteful. It's doing something solely for its own sake, like Rod Stewart building intricate modern railways not for profit or fame. Just pure love me, or me banging out Elton John songs on my piano. These are totalic activities. Their value isn't in an outcome but in the doing itself. This is crucial because results always come later and later is always too late. He also makes a powerful case for patience as a superpower in a world obsessed with speed. We get caught in an impatient spiral where technology, by making things faster, paradoxically makes us more impatient. But if we allow things to take the time they take, like Jennifer Roberts' student spending 3 hours looking at a single painting, or Scott Peck slowly diagnosing a car problem, we gain a deeper purchase on that reality. This is how you discover originality on the far side of unregenetically, by staying on the bus of a chosen path, even when it feels derivative, until you reach your unique destination. And here's another counterintuitive idea. Individual freedom over your time can lead to loneliness. We seek complete control over our schedules, but time is also a network good. Its value comes from how well it synchronizes with others. The Swedish study on vacation happiness, where people were happier when more of the population was on vacation simultaneously, really drives this home. Or the disastrous Soviet 5-day workweek that destroyed social life by preventing people from having days off together. Singing with others, like singing in a choir or even military marching, creates a profound sense of cohesion and meaning. It's realizing that your time can be too much your own. Perhaps the most liberating concept is cosmic insignificance therapy. It's about accepting that what you do with your life doesn't matter all that much, and when it comes to how you're using your finite time, the universe absolutely could not care less. This sounds terrifying, but it's actually incredibly consoling. It frees you from the pressure to make a dent in the universe. It lets go of the impossible standard that your life needs to be some monumental achievement to be well spent. Suddenly, preparing nutritious meals for your kids, or writing a novel that only a few people enjoy, or volunteering at a local food pantry, these things can matter as much as anything could ever matter. So where does that leave us? Berkman says the fantasy of mastering time is the most forgivable of human delusions because the alternative is so unsettling. But the truth is, the struggle is doomed to fail. You'll never get the upper hand over time because we are nothing but those moments. To master time, you'd have to step outside of it, and you can't, because time is the river that sweeps me along, but I am the river. This means giving up on the provisional life, the feeling that real life is always in the future, just over the horizon. It means accepting that there will always be too much to do, that tough choices are inevitable, and that you can't control how things turn out. So what should you do with this revelation? Berkman leaves us with 5 powerful questions to lift the questions and guide our finite weeks. 1. Where in your life or work are you pursuing comfort when what's called for is a little discomfort? Remember, true growth often comes from embracing challenges, from uncomfortable enlargement over comfortable diminishment. 2. Are you holding yourself to standards of productivity or performance that are impossible to meet? If so, let your impossible standards crash to the ground. Then pick a few meaningful tasks from the rubble and get started on them today. 3. In what ways have you yet to accept the fact that you are who you are, not the person you think you ought to be? Stop trying to justify your existence to some external authority. Your true contributions will come from embracing your authentic self, strengths, and even weaknesses, here and now. 4. In which areas of life are you still holding back until you feel like you know what you're doing? The truth is, everyone is winging it all the time. Don't wait for certainty that will never arrive. Just give it your all now. 5. How would you spend your days differently if you didn't care so much about seeing your actions reach fruition? Some of the most meaningful work, like cataloging trees or searching for extraterrestrial life, won't be completed in a single lifetime. But that doesn't make it any less valuable. The cathedral's still worth building all the same. Ultimately, this book is an extended argument for the empowering potential of giving up hope, not giving up on action, but giving up the hope that these will magically become okay in the future without your effort, or that you'll achieve perfect control or security. It's about accepting that it's already not okay on a global and individual level, and yet paradoxically, this realization is not despair, but an energizing surge of motivation. It frees you from the pressure of doing everything and allows you to focus on doing a few things that truly count. It's about realizing that the human disease of striving for mastery is futile, and the real liberation comes from giving up that struggle and simply, wholeheartedly, showing up for life as it is, right now. As you famously advised, quietly do the next and most necessary thing. Because in the end, that's all any of us can ever do, and it's how we make our finite lives more luminous. So, if you're tired of the hamster wheel of modern productivity, this book is a must-read. It doesn't offer quick fixes or life hacks, but it offers something far more profound: a path to peace and meaning, not by escaping our limitations but by fully embracing them. Highly, highly recommend.